Bottom line is the spread of this virus continues at a rate that is particularly concerning. We're seeing parts of the state where we are seeing an increase in not only the total number of positive cases, but a significant increase in the total number of people that are getting tested that are testing positive, meaning the positivity rate, not just the total case rate, is beginning to go up to a degree that obviously generates some concern. Consequence, we are doing everything we can to focus in on certain sectors of our economy where that spread is more likely to occur, where that spread can be potentially more concentrated, and try to mitigate that spread to the extent we can. Working with health officials all across the state of California, not only here at the state itself, but within counties, large and small, up and down the state, we have worked together to put out the following new guidelines in the state. Certain sectors of the state, we are now requiring they close their indoor operations due to the spread of the virus. This applies to all counties that have been on what we refer to as the county monitoring list for at least 3 consecutive days. I put out a list a number of days ago. We talked about 11 counties being on that list. It increased to 15 a couple days back. We referenced 19 counties that are on that list. And so all counties, and I'll give you the list of those counties here in a moment, that have been on that list for at least 3 consecutive days will be required to take the following targeted action. Guidance, by the way, action that we anticipate and expect will remain in place for at least 3 weeks. Again, I'll remind all of you that the framework we engage in is bottom-up, not top-down. Again, California, said on many occasions, size of 21 states, populations combined. As a consequence, conditions, dynamics related to the spread of this disease in different parts of the state distinguish themselves from other parts of the state. So when we talk about this dimmer switch, which we've been talking about for many, many months, not an on and off switch, but a dimmer switch, it's based upon local conditions that advance our ability to mitigate the spread of this virus. Those 19 counties, again, that have been impacted by our action. These are the counties that have been on the watch list for at least 3 consecutive days. Those counties, large and small, all up and down the state. Remember, California has 58 counties. These are 19 counties within the state, but these 19 counties represent over 70% of the population here in the state of California. With that, we have specifically targeted our efforts to close indoor operations, and I want to reinforce this, indoor operations in restaurants, wineries, and tasting rooms, movie theaters, family entertainment, broadly defined by guidelines that we had previously put out, zoos, museums, and card rooms in this state. I should note, in anticipation question, that we have casinos in the state of California that are operating, tribal sovereign nations. We are working very collaboratively, as we did with the original stay-at-home order, and working with the guidelines that we put forth to allow them to make modifications to their operations so they could reopen in certain counties in the state of California. We are in deep conversations and will be making public the fruits of those efforts to at least get a rationale of understanding between our sovereign nation, our partners in our sovereign nations, and the state of California. So indoor operations. This doesn't mean restaurants shut down. It means that we're trying to take the activities, many activities as we can, these mixed activities, these concentrated activities, and move them outdoors, which is a way of mitigating the spread of this virus. Not dissimilar, by the way, some of these actions, as you've seen in other states across the country, again, based upon our information that come back from our health directors and from evidence that has been grounded and provided to us all across the world, not just across the rest of the nation, as it relates to the unique characteristics of being indoors for an extended period of time, and airflow issues and the prospect of increased transmission of COVID-19. We have as well made very clear our concerns around bars operating in the state of California. We had originally, and this was on Sunday, put out guidelines for 7 counties that prohibited bar operations. We had recommended for an additional number of counties, 7 additional counties. So there were total, of 15 counties that we had originally mandated or recommended bar closure. With the addition of 4 counties now on that 3-day watch list, we're just moving forward to close the operation of all of those bars in all of the 19 counties that I had just put forth. Additionally, we are concerned, as we have been very vocal and very candid about in the past, about activities, concentration of activities out on our state beaches. I was very grateful to be, opportunity to engage, as we have, with local health officials in Ventura County and LA County and elsewhere. Ventura and LA are just 2 examples where their local elected officials, their local health officers have moved forward to make modifications in terms of accessing their beaches this weekend. The state of California is not mandating the closure of beaches this weekend, but we are modifying our parking facility operations and closing them to traffic throughout the Southern California region, as well as parts of Monterey County, Santa Cruz, in through the Bay Area and up along the North Coast, all the way up to Sonoma County. And that information is on our parks website, but that is the new mandate that we are putting out today. And by the way, that includes consideration of modifications on some of our larger state parks where we've seen increased activity, where people simply aren't able to practice social distancing, practice physical distancing, and those modifications are being made as well. In order to support the efforts, and I referenced the efforts of Ventura County and LA County and their desire, the local level, the determination at the local level to shut their beaches down, we, in concert with those decisions, felt it was appropriate for the state to do the same with the state beaches. But that's the concentration of focus, where local governments are working with the state and they are driving that request. We will meet and match that request. But again, that is only beach closures in those 2 counties that have already made the determination that they would be shutting down their local beaches.